Yo, for real, this is like so cool that I can actually record myself while I'm driving. Because I think about a lot of stuff in my head. And sometimes it'd be cool to just be able to spit it so I can come back to it, write it down, and refine it and make it better. Like the other day, like when I was coming up here, I've been thinking honestly about every time a president gets into office, I go through my list of what I would do personally in my first 90 days. And if I had a recording of when I first started doing it up until now, I can honestly say that I don't think my list has changed. Education, healthcare, wages. And yeah, then that's basically it. No. Healthcare, education, healthcare, and standard of living. And all these three generally mean different things to different people. Education, that's a hard fact. We have got to, if you don't educate the children properly, they will come up with anything. They will believe anything that somebody puts out and tells them this is the facts, whether it's true or not. So the first thing we need to do is teach kids how to be honest and how to see honesty and how to understand from what they read, who's telling the truth and who's not, whether they're giving all the information or not. And that's not really very difficult to teach. All you do is just use history. If you take a child, through a history book, they're going to ask questions about missing information because of the way kids ask questions, the way they process things. I need more information. You're telling me this, I'm reading this story, and the more I know, the more I want to know, well, why is this missing? Why is there a passage in a history book in Mississippi that reads, I don't remember exactly how it reads, but it says something to the effect that the master was a benevolent master, and the slaves frolicked in his good graces. You know, where it just painted this picture of slavery as this, oh, it ain't so bad. Maybe you got whipped once or twice, but you think as a kid, hey, listen, I've had a butt whipping before. You know, maybe it's not that bad to be a slave. But then when you dig into the history and you're told, well, sometimes those whippings took the skin off of a slave's back, left wide gashes. Or you hear some of the other atrocities performed throughout slavery, which I really don't want to get into because some of them make me a little squeamish, that a civilized country would act so barbarically. But it is what it is. You know, like I said, I'm not pointing fingers. I'm just saying that we have to look at the foundation of the system. I'm not saying tear it all down, because there are a lot of great programs that have come about throughout the years. I'm not saying tear it all down, but what I'm saying is let's plug the leaks. And one of the biggest leaks is education. Because honestly, I will be totally 100% honest with you, from my opinion, this is just how I feel. There is no way 74 million Americans, or however many Americans it was that voted for Donald Trump, believed that stuff. I can't believe it. It just blows my mind. If you actually looked at everything the president has done, one of the clearest examples of this is Obamagate. I heard it brought up today. I was looking at the year in review and Obamagate came up. This was a so-called conspiracy theory where the Obama administration was wiretapping the Trump transition team. Now, on its face, if you just said that, if that's all you said, and then you went on to something else, and then you said, oh, the documents are forthcoming, we're getting to the evidence, this, that, and the third, or whatever, okay, and I'm sitting here waiting, and you can't bupkis. You go into something else in the news cycle, something else in the news cycle saves you, and the story gets buried, right? But if you scratch the whole story, the Obama administration was concerned about Michael Flynn and told the president so, because Michael Flynn had been having conversations with the Russians. The Obama administration was looking into the Russians and picked up Michael Flynn and the Trump administration. It was a net to find out what they could find out about Russian interference in the 2016 election. Because not only did the Obama administration say that there was tampering from Russia, but Trump's own security administration said that too. It's on record. But with the way the news cycle worked this year, or this 4 years, stories like that get buried, and the last half of it, nobody thinks about. And that's how Donald Trump has been getting away with this, is because information. And that's why I'm kicking so hard on education, because I remember a time when everything was on paper. I'm not saying we have to go back to paper because we're trying to save the trees. I get that, okay? But kids need to be reading some type of media, newspaper, every day. Not just from one source, but multiple sources. So they can begin to create a complete worldview of what's going on. I'm not talking about real early in life. They don't need to be 5 worrying about that. They can be in the comic section at 5. You understand what I'm saying? But the groundwork needs to be there. They need to be reading stories for kids, okay, that allow them to think about something other than video games. Now, I'm not saying down with video games, but everything in its time. You know, education has got to come first, because we never know. The version of entertainment we know of now, in 20 years, it ain't even going to be, that's going to be the old school, that's going to be the Atari. You know what I'm saying? So it's about building to the future. I say to my brother all the time, stop advocating for the child he is now. Advocate for the adult he is in the future. See, we have to be a lot more prophetic in how we handle our children, because we know what it takes to survive in the world today. So we need to prepare our children to be able to survive in the world of tomorrow. Now, with education, healthcare is right next.